classic love triangle. What better for Halloween? Funding is provided in part by Visit Gainesville, Alachua County. A grant from the City of Gainesville Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs Department. Details and ticket information at dancealive.org.
Tick-tock. The days fly by, and we find tax season is upon us once again. Not to worry, though. With a reputable CPA firm on your side, you can rest assured that all of your needs will be handled in a professional and thorough manner. Robson, Scribner, and Stewart is just that firm. They're there for their clients year-round, not just during tax season, to handle your needs and answer any questions you may encounter. At Robson, Scribner, and Stewart, there is no client too small or too large. Their expertise ranges from the single individual to the largest of corporations. Get your return prepared by a professional who will use their years of experience to ensure that your tax return's outcome will leave you in the best possible position. Call them today at 694-4184. Robson, Scribner, and Stewart. They're there for you today. Again, that number is 694-4184. Time is of the essence, so don't delay. 694-4184.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Friday. That's right, it is hour number 2 of Ocala Talks, and I got a lot to talk about right in this hour. Wesley Wilcox, our election supervisor, made an appearance on CNN earlier this week where he told people, tone down the rhetoric on Florida elections. Chill out. There's no reason to think that these elections are bogus or that they're fraudulent or people aren't getting their just due with these elections. He actually referred to the elections as he wasn't going to nobody's going to audit his elections. He said my elections. He kept referring to them as his elections. I was under the impression the elections belong to the people of Florida, but maybe I'm confused. Joining me on the phone now is a political pundit here in Marion County who runs a major Facebook political page and also assists candidates in running for public office throughout the county. Sue Mosley joins us. Sue, good morning.
Good morning, Tom. How are you?
Wonderful. You know, I don't know where to go with this because Wesley Wilcox, who I think does a pretty good job as the election supervisor, goes on CNN and tells people that basically he's above audits, that you're not going to audit his elections because he does it right, and you just have to believe he does it right because he says so, and you're not going to come behind him and look over his shoulder. Did I read that right? Did I hear that right? Or am I mistaken?
No, I believe that's 100% correct. I've heard it and seen it with my own eyes and ears. And, you know, I'll tell you where we go with this. There's two things that I want to point out. One is a question. Are you as tired as I am of our elected officials, whether it be city, county, local, state, national level, feeling that they are superior to us, the taxpayers, that they are better, like when they use the term my office, my job, my position, my supervisor of election, my sheriff's department, it's ours. It's ours.
100% it is.
We pay you. What is happening with, Wesley kind of making a superior statement like that, that he's above audit and no one is going to question his office and getting an attitude about it, so to speak, just gives me more credence to what I preach about constantly is this is what happens when we have no opposition and candidates or elected officials continue to run unopposed. Years after years, term after term. They get the superiority complex that it's my office and you're not going to tell me what I can and cannot do.
And let's be honest, Wesley Wilcox was handpicked by his predecessor for this job.
Absolutely, D. Brown. So how many years, I was trying to think how many years Wesley has been in that position.
I think 2 terms.
No, I think it's longer than that because he
no more
only
than 3
had
terms.
opposition He had opposition, I believe, his first term. So he's probably next year, or 20. He's either up 2022 with the.
Didn't he win the election in 2012 or 2011, 2012, somewhere around there?
D. Brown retired, right? And it seems like it's been a long time, but I don't want to say because I don't know for sure what the year was. We have to look that up. But he's only had opposition one time. For the most part, Wesley flies under the radar, doesn't give anybody any reason for pause. But is anybody really looking? And now all of a sudden it begs the question of, okay, well, if you're not doing anything wrong, what's the problem with an audit? Or even let's go back to a recount. Like you said, I've worked with candidates for many, many years. I do political consulting as a career. I actually get paid to do it, so it's not a hobby. But there's been times where I've had candidates who have lost that, I'm not going to say, oh, they should have won hands down, but, the loss was a little suspicious. Based on our data, based on our polling, you can question it. Did we question it? No, because there was always a trust level with Wesley's office. There was never an issue to think, there was something inappropriate that might have went on. But although, there was some suspicion that this doesn't seem correct, but now it gives me pause on all of it. All of a sudden you don't want me looking at something. Why?
Really?
Why that shouldn't be? You should have an open door policy. Am I wrong?
That's the first question. When I saw the article, when I saw the thing on CNN, I go, "What's he hiding?" That was my first thought. I go, to come out and publicly say you can't look at what I've done. Well, but I own what you've done because I'm the taxpayer. Right. You work for me. You're telling me, so you're telling your boss that all the work product you've created, your boss isn't allowed to look at?
Yep.
If you did that in a real world job, you'd be fired.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, where does that come from? Where does it even, at what point, and I can say this because I did serve. I was an elected official for 8 years. At no point did I ever assume that my word was gospel and it was the end all and what I said goes. I was elected to represent the people, and as far as I was concerned, it was the people's voice. So at no point would I ever shut that down or shut the people down. Like, I'm not going to take your input, or I don't care what you have to say. It's not important to me. My word is my way or the highway. And we see that too often with politicians, with elected officials.
It's becoming more and more. It's becoming more and more prevalent with politicians that they have a holier-than-thou attitude.
Right.
That they think they're above reproach.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say when they make a decision that 4 people can go in there and sway them. It shouldn't be like that. No. But when the masses have concern, you have to respond to it. And sometimes, just like any other in ordinary life, in ordinary business, sometimes you make mistakes. Sometimes things happen where you do have to change
We've seen that in Broward County numerous times where mistakes have been made.
Correct, especially in the election process. But
right.
I'm just talking about in general, in your thought process. You may go in as an elected official with a thought in mind that this is correct and this is the right thought, and then you review further evidence and information, and maybe you have to change what you originally thought. Maybe when you look at both sides of the issue or all the evidence that's involved, we're seeing that, in a city council issue recently. Sometimes you have to review things again and maybe revisit your original vote or thought or whatever process that's going further. Maybe I'm wrong.
I have another reason that I'm concerned about Wesley Wilcox stand, and I'll bring that up to you after we take this short break. You're listening to Ocala Talks on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
getting ready to move and you work hard. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros, trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
2 Men in a Truck.
Keep up with what's going on in the downtown area with Ocala Downtown Newspaper. Delivering thousands of newspapers to businesses in the downtown area, Ocala Downtown is there to keep you informed. They even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about it. It's simple. For more info, just call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223, and pick up your copy of the Downtown Ocala newspaper today.
And now read Ocala Downtown Newspaper online. Hey there, I have a question for you. Is your roof asphalt and does it look like it needs replacement? Did you get quotes and were you in sticker shock? Would you like to save not hundreds, but thousands of dollars? Did you call RoofMax? Well, call RoofMax with their patent-pending technology, which can add years to your roof without needing to replace it. And it's easy. You just pick up the phone for a free quote. Plus, they use state-of-the-art satellite technology to measure your roof. So, if your roof is over 7 years old, then you should call RoofMax today at 352-639-2777. That's 352-639-2777.
Think you know Dex Imaging? Think again. In the office, streamlining communications. In the field, delivering top-notch service, enhancing productivity and reducing downtime. In the data center, a part of the growing digital document revolution. In the world of business, supporting entrepreneurs and helping companies grow. In the forefront of technology, developing cutting-edge document management solutions. So if you think you know Dex Imaging, you don't know Dex.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com, Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Gene Powell Pastumoing, 352-629-2440. A few of our tractor services include bush hogging, disking, and rototilling. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are family-owned and operated, licensed and insured, and farm-ready. Powell Gene, Gene, at yahoo.com, 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pastumoing, 352-629-2440. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
Started in 1975. It's Yendel's Building Materials. Whether you're making repairs, adding a room, or building a house, Yendel's constantly delivers excellent service and top quality materials and many of the tools and hardware you need to get the job done. At Yendel's, they take pride in supplying their customers with new and innovative products. Yendel's experience in truss design, manufacturing, and component materials is second to none. 834 North Magnolia Avenue in Ocala, 732-3000. Stop by to experience the difference.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
Dad's service to our country is something we're so proud of. He made a difference and set a great example. Now it's our turn to honor the sacrifices he made for our family and this country. As veteran specialists, Hires Baxley Funeral Service helps us celebrate Dad's life and can help you too. Hires Baxley is here for you during your time of need or when planning for the future. For more information, call 352-484-0891 or visit hiresbaxley.com/choice.
On the first and third Wednesday mornings each month at 9:05 a.m., Robert Colin with On Top of the World will be our guest as we learn all about the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at Ocala's premier adult active community, On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will bring guests, and you're sure to enjoy our little chats. After all, you deserve the world, and we bring it to you.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Friday, that promo said I was a legend in my own mind. You don't believe me, just ask. I think that's where a lot of politicians are these days. They're legends in their own mind. If you don't believe them, just ask them. They'll tell you. Sue Mosley, she is on the phone lines with us. She's a political pundit here in Marion County who not only was a public servant herself, elected to 2 terms to the school board, but she has helped other people in their election campaigns as well throughout the years. Sue, when we went to break, I said there's another worrisome part for me about the Wesley Wilcox statements that it's his elections and nobody's going to audit his elections. It's that he is now the president of the State Board of Supervisors of Elections. He sits at the top of all the supervisor of elections as he oversees the group that they have together. So does that mean that because he sits there that he believes all the elections in the state are his elections and nothing should be audited in this state? Because if that's the truth, now I got 67 problems.
Right. Isn't that the truth? And you mentioned Broward County before. And
Hello.
Isn't it fairly a regular thing during election time that Broward gets audited after an election, a major presidential election?
Everyone I can remember in my lifetime.
Right. Yeah. This definitely is cause for concern. And it's cause for concern on a lot of levels. Like you say, 67 counties are affected now that he's overseeing that state board. But on a local level, from local elections, now are we, because I've spoke out about this, or you've spoke out about this, or other candidates or elected people are looking, concerned about this, is there going to be a retaliation factor? We should probably talk about there is a proctor board during elections and what that's comprised of. I believe, a county commissioner serves on the proctor board, a judge. I'm sure there's a law enforcement official. Do you happen to know what the panel for proctoring on election night is?
I do not know the panel. It's something I need to look into. But
I feel like that's
but if I
something
try
we need
to
to be concerned about.
But if I try to look into it, is Wesley going to tell me it's not my business because it's his elections?
That's a good question, and that's up to the media, I guess, to start.
Well, I guess I will be making a phone call as soon as I get off the air today. Hey, speaking of phone calls, let's take one. You're on the phone. You're on Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz and Sue Mosley. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Sonny. Number one, I think Wesley Wilcox was knowingly going into a hostile atmosphere at CNN, which prompted them to say that. The other thing is there hasn't been any kind of questions as far as how the Board of Elections was run since as long as I've been in this county, and I've been living here since 1997.
Oh, no.
I think that's an excellent record to be
and Sonny, nobody's questioning whether Wesley does his job effectively or not. I think Wesley does a great job. My problem is he tells me now that we can't question the job he does. Whether we want to or not, we're not allowed to question it.
We question it every election. Isn't there opposing observers and counting and looking at the count of the election? I think we have no questions there. There's been never any opposition to people coming into observing how our elections were being handled.
So you're okay.
You got something to squawk about. I think it's impossible to compare Broward County with Marion County.
We didn't compare. Sonny. We didn't compare. Stop, Sonny. I'll shut you off the radio. We didn't compare Broward County to Marion County. We said that the Marion County Supervisor of Elections, who is also ahead of the State Board of Elections, has said that he's above reproach. He's above audit. He doesn't, nobody's going to come back behind him and check him like he owns the elections. He doesn't own the elections. The electorate owns the elections. I do, you do, taxpayers. No elected official should draw a line in the sand saying that, no, you're not going to look at the job I do. Thanks for the call, Sonny. I'm not.
You're correct. You're correct.
We never compared Broward County to Marion County.
No,
and if you're going to come on my show and say we did, I'm going to shut you down.
Well, and basically, every election at this stage in what we're seeing nationally should be open to audit, without question.
Every state, everything should be open for audit.
Election integrity is by far should be the most important thing that we all should be concerned about is election integrity. And we have been very blessed in Marion County because up until this point, we've not had to question Wesley Wilcox. He's been
him and his staff have done a fantastic
supervisor
job
of elections. So to give us pause, to say all of a sudden to be whether it's a hostile environment or not, actually, if it was a hostile environment at CNN when he did the interview, his answer should have been, anybody can come in and request an audit, and I'm open to it because what I do at my office is beyond reproach. I mean, we're doing it, to the best of our ability, the most honest, with most integrity. Shouldn't be any question.
And if you want to come in,
I would have handled myself in a hostile environment.
If you want to come in behind me and look at my numbers,
come on in.
Come on in. The door's open.
I'll have coffee when you get there. That it would have been very simple, very easy, and there would have been no controversy attached to it, nor would we have any reason to question anything.
And
now he's given us reason to question.
And let me go back and reiterate. I know what I say on my show, and for anybody to come on this show and put words into my mouth is not going to be accepted, and you will be put off my airwaves. That's just period. Period, the end.
That I know that, and right. Some people tend to that happens all the time.
Not to Tom Schmidt, because I'm not an elected official. This is my radio show. I audit it.
Yep. Well, I agree, but.
But the bigger issue, I think the bigger issue is his position as head of the state board of supervisor of elections.
And that's another one. What is the authority that comes with that position?
And I, if you're in a hostile environment, you went on CNN. Even if you were in a hostile environment, you got to have better answers to the questions.
Right.
Or we don't have these kind of conversations.
Well, it's surprising because I do know Wesley on a personal level, and he's always been very open. So I don't know what prompted.
I think that the supervisor of elections, and by the way, rightfully so, maybe, are tired of people saying elections are rigged. The elections are rigged. And there's been questions in elections as long as we've had elections. But I think that when you make statements of my door is closed, you can't look at what I'm doing, that only exacerbates the issue. It doesn't make it go away.
Right. Does this go, and maybe I'm going down a rabbit trail here, but this has been my problem of late. Does this kind of tread along the line of voter intimidation?
I don't know that it's that point. I just think it's election officials fed up with their integrity being questioned, they're defending it the wrong way.
But I look at it like, you put it out there, hey, you're not going to audit me, and for the most part, people will sit back and go, oh, okay, because the elected official said that. It's no different. We are seeing a lot of voter intimidation. I'm seeing it a lot in these city council races where certain local leaders are intimidating people on different candidates and threatening. I mean, I've been threatened several times myself. I plan on coming out with all of that after this election is over. There's been several people who've been threatened in different directions. That's voter intimidation, and it's illegal. And it needs to stop, and it doesn't matter where it's coming from, even if it's coming from an elected official. You don't have the opportunity to intimidate your constituents one way or the other. You are there to serve. If you do not have a servant's heart, don't get in an elected position.
100%.
Because that's where corruption begins. And we're not saying Wesley's done anything wrong at this point, but now he's given us reason to wonder. And that's not a good place to be either.
I've never said Wesley did anything wrong. I think Wesley does a great job. His staff does a great job.
Up until this point, we've never had questions.
Going to me that he would say these kind of statements, being that I think he's doing a great job. Hey, Sue, this is a conversation that isn't going to be over in 30 minutes. Thanks so much for joining us today. Good luck in the upcoming runoff elections, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks for having me. Bye.
That's Sue Mosley. She is a political pundit here in our area. She's held public office and got people elected. I think Wesley does a great job. I just wish Wesley had used a different tact in saying that he's tired of people questioning the job he does. Because I think that's what he was saying, was he's tired of how people question the job he's doing. I think he said it wrong, and it created kind of a firestorm. That's all I'm saying. I still think Wesley Wilcox does a very good job as our supervisor of elections. We'll be right back on WOCA The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
With two infrastructure bills awaiting congressional approval, one has bipartisan support and one is totally partisan. Digging deeper, Chris Barnes from the New England USA Radio News Bureau explains.
Big tax cut to the middle class creates jobs.
U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi speaking on Thursday morning when she and President Biden had announced it appeared a deal was done that would pass the president's two big legislative priorities.
Lowers cost for families.
But not so fast. In the hours that have followed, some Democrats have now put a hold on things again. They want to guarantee that both the surface infrastructure bill that has bipartisan support and that sweeping social infrastructure measure, as it's been called, will pass the House and the Senate.
Disgraced New York ex-governor Democrat Andrew Cuomo was charged Thursday with misdemeanor groping a female aide in Albany's executive mansion, a crime that could send him to jail for a year if he's convicted. USA Radio News.
There's a lot of confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID. With guidelines and